Alright lads, so tomorrow a new Brave Fest is actually dropping. In this case, you're actually guaranteed a 7th anniversary URYU if you decide to do 20 steps on this particular banner. Now, Brave Fest banners for the most part are actually really good banners in my opinion, and this one is no exception to that. Not only does this obviously feature your next chance to try and get your hands on 7th anniversary URYU, it guarantees him on step 20, but you also have a pretty good banner, because alongside URYU, you have some really good fillers. But I do want to mention at the start of the video, this is very poorly timed in our case, and Caleb know exactly what they are doing. In case you aren't aware, when it comes to the individual banners, because that's the best way to look at this. This is an individual banner for URYU for those that weren't able to get him on the 7th anniversary July 23rd. For those that weren't able to get him on the 7th anniversary. And usually these banners would actually run early January right after post-selection. But Caleb know that post-selection this year, we already spoke about the characters that are going to be in that banner yesterday, they know that this year's post-selection banner is an amazing banner, and in doing so, they want you to try and spend your orbs on this character right now before post-selection does drop. So while we are going to break down the banner and also the characters, I do believe that it's maybe best just to wait for post-selection. And it's weird saying that because post-selection only has one guaranteed 5-star, and it's going to have the anniversary step-up rate, which isn't really that good in my opinion. But the overall banner, the overall value post-selection has, I think has significantly more value than this particular banner. But this banner does have the advantage of, again, having more discounts, guarantees, and also a guaranteed URYU. So I think majority of lads watching this should potentially save for post-selection because that banner just offers more value. But in the very rare chance when you don't care about post-selection, you only want URYU, and you want in 5 out of 5, maybe max transcended, then this is the banner you want to summon on over post-selection. I want some of these characters, I want URYU dupes, but in this banner, it's just not really worth it for me. I'm going to wait for post-selection, which should happen around December 25th. And I guess it's also worth mentioning too that other characters in this banner are also going to be in post-selection. Literally the 3 best characters in this banner, URYU, Lisa, and also Grimmjow, they're all going to be in post-selection. So like I said, I do recommend most people do wait. In addition to that though, let's actually have a look at the banner. So for stars, what you will realize is that this banner does drop tomorrow morning, the 22nd, 7 AM for me, and it's going to last you for basically a week. And the second this banner does leave is actually when the end of month banner does start. So for those that are maybe even interested in summoning this banner, maybe you're interested in doing more than 5 steps, I always recommend to maybe wait until the 27th to see what end of month is going to be so you don't regret spending orbs, because the worst thing you can do right now is spend all your orbs for this particular character. Sure, he's probably going to be worth it, and I highly doubt end of month is going to introduce a character that's better than this URYU, but just in the off chance they maybe release your favorite character at this end of month and you regret summoning now, so the best thing you can do is just wait until the 27th, and then you can decide if you want to summon for end of month, summon for URYU, or maybe just skip both banners and start saving for end of year. But that decision will ultimately come down to you if you are someone that does decide to wait a couple more days before summoning. Now moving on from that, looking at the actual characters themselves, we have URYU and then we also have other 5-star characters. Now in my opinion, this is actually a really good step up formula, and I would really love to see normal banners have this system. And by that, let's actually have a look at the rates, because what you can see here is that step 1 and 2 are the only discounted steps, keep that in mind. But your overall chance to get URYU is a 0.7% chance. And then the other characters, this case the fillers, these 8 characters all share the 4.3% drop rate. And the reason why I like that is because the individual character rate is actually lower for the other characters. So of course you're going to have a more likely better chance to pull a character from the other pool because there's 8 characters there, but the individual rate's actually lower than URYU. So it kind of feels like URYU has a rate up, and it makes it feel like it's actually a more special banner, which it is. And if you are someone that does decide to summon on this banner, it's guaranteed that you are going to walk away with URYU. We have been preaching for guaranteed banner characters for a very long time, and for the most part, they only do it for anniversary characters like this on Brave Fest banners like this. And around 4,000 orbs is a lot to ask for one particular character, but I'm not going to complain about it because normal banners don't have guarantees. There have been plenty of times where I spend 4,000 orbs and don't get the character I want. The one thing this banner does guarantee is that you are walking with URYU if you decide to go that deep. And at the same time, considering the rates and the amount of guarantees you are getting on step 5, 10, and 15, there's a good chance that you might walk away with dupes of URYU, and that's the main thing about this banner. And if you get unlucky on your 5-star pools and you get someone else with you, then you're walking with some other good characters too. But the worst case scenario, in case you are someone that does 20 steps, and let's say you get like really unlucky, you get no 5-stars outside of the guarantees, at the very least, you're walking away with a 7th anniversary URYU. And that's a good worst case scenario to be in my opinion, just compared to other banners where worst case scenario is that you don't get the character. But let's quickly speak about the characters. So URYU, literally the best speed character in the entire game, is no competition. This character is absolutely broken, who has just recently gotten better starting today because they did buff how the gauge mechanic does work. Now what makes URYU OP is the fact that he has an amazing set of strong attacks. A beam SA1, a large SA2 that has a wide AoE radius, and a full screen SA3. With 2 killers, that being a rank and no affiliation, his usability is high, and on top of that, he just has a lot of great damage output and utility, as he does come with Frenzy +2, 20% Berserker, and an additional 20% strong attack damage to your entire team if you are a speed character. So not only can he do a lot of damage himself, he's also buffing the team. He has guard breaking hit hidden enemies, an increased chance of inflicting stat augments, and keep in mind he already has Frenzy +2. Every attack, by the way, that he does have can inflict weakening and also drain. So this character is just getting non-stop heals, non-stop weakening, buffing your team's damage, doing a lot of damage, and also healing your team because he also has a team party heal where he recovers everyone's stamina by 20% every time you move into another map. And then rounding out this character with Sprinter +2 and Long Stride, this character has just insane mobility. And in my opinion, he still is potentially the best PvE character because playing with this character is just amazing. And we didn't even talk about the gauge mechanic because when you do use your strong attacks and also your normal attacks and Soul Bomb, you're building up a gauge, and when that gauge is completed, it then increases your Berserker by 100% for around 10 or so seconds. So this character just does too much damage, too much healing, too much buffing. This character literally does it all. He's amazing. And it gets even better because you can also use him in Arena, where he's also, again, a really good character, given the fact that if you do get this character to Arena level 10, you're getting the extra bit of recharge, poise, start power item +2, and also extra Soul Bomb. So URYU, pretty much one of the best characters in the entire game, the best speed character in the entire game, and someone that, in my opinion, is worth spending 4,000 orbs on. Then we have the fillers. Oko, best described as a brave battle character. That's the only place you're really ever going to use him, and you only want to put him against captain characters. That's due to the fact that he has a captain killer, has a 50% chance to dodge captains, brave battle counter, and also counter attack. Against non-captains, he's not really that good in brave battles, but when you do put him against captains, he's one of the better characters to go against them. He's not a super amazing brave battle character, but someone you can definitely use, and someone that is great and OP in my opinion, again when against captains. Lisa, one of the best mind characters in the entire game, who is also going to be in post selection at the end of the year. She's a mind Quincy killer with a pretty good strong attack hit, amazing damage output with her frenzy, berserker value, and also spiritual pressure boost, and she also does buff the entire team by 20%, just like this URYU, and most importantly, has an increased chance of inflicting stat augments, therefore allowing her to keep the SP boost active for majority of the quests, and also great in IT because you're non-stop inflicting stat augments. Gin, a very fun knight character, just very powerful in that aspect. He does have a good damage output and kit that you can actually use him in normal PvE content, but for the most part, the main usage you're going to get out of this character is in guild quests, more specifically the range captain guild quest, where he is the hardest hitting knight character for that guild quest when it comes to normal attack damage characters. Cacao Society Grimjaw, another character that is going to be seen in post selection at the end of the year. Good strong attack kit, good damage output, and also a super link swap character that will allow you to farm super link swap potions and link swap potions for the speed attribute. So it being a Grimjaw, a seasonal Grimjaw at that, having a cool design, good kit and strong attack damage, and at the same time being a super link swap character, a lot of value has to be had with this particular character. Abby Rama, again, another very solid knight character, mainly designed for guild quests, just like Gin, can be used outside of guild quests, but for the most part, the main usage you're going to get out of this character is in guild quests, but this time, it's the range Espada guild quest. Makes for a really good side, and I personally still use it myself. Yukio is a power of Ronka killer, mainly designed to be used in IT, but he doesn't increase the drop rate, he doesn't really do anything too special. He has an amazing set of visuals, I think one of the best visuals in the entire game, and I really wish he was a tad bit more broken or just really OP in my opinion, because those visuals are kind of being wasted on this particular character. He is good if you use him in the right situation in Inheritance Trials when he has killer, but for the most part, most people won't get a usage out of him. White Ichigo, just a solid NAD character, good in Senkamon, makes for a good side in guild quest, the melee no affiliation guild quest, and then lastly we have Momo, who is pretty bad. She's a Linkstock character, so she does have some value, but she's pretty much the worst speed Linkstock character in the entire game, and I wouldn't even recommend using her even though she is a Linkstock character. And with that, that's basically the breakdown for the 7th anniversary URYU Brave Fest banner. Of course, because this banner is dropping tomorrow, there's a pretty good chance that within potentially the next 2 or so weeks, we're going to get another Brave Fest banner, this time with 7th anniversary Ichigo. I do like the idea of Brave Fest banners guaranteeing you a character after X amount of steps, in this case 20, and I want to encourage it more because I do prefer this over just the normal banners that we get right now with no guarantees. But this one I don't think is best timed, and I feel like the banner itself, despite the top row being pretty decent, these aren't bad characters. The bottom row doesn't make up for it, and in comparison to what post selection is going to be, despite post selection having the worst banner format, I actually rather summon on post selection. While yes, it's true that URYU is going to have a lower chance to be pulled over there, the overall chance of you just getting something really good is going to be higher on post selection, since all 12 characters that we voted for are very powerful, and I basically want most of the characters there, where in this banner, I don't really need dupes of Oko and also Gin. Getting dupes would be good. I don't have Lisa, I don't have Grimjaw, but I'd rather just test my luck on post selection, but like I mentioned mentioned, if you are someone that only wants URYU 5-5, let's say URYU is your favorite character, then this is probably the better banner to summon on. But that choice comes down to you, and I recommend holding out on making that choice until end the month is revealed, which should happen November 27th. But with that said, that's basically the breakdown for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.